Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Bruin Fieldhouse for tonight's Greater Boston League matchup between the Cambridge Ridge and Latin Falcons, the dark side of the force, and your heroes, the Lady Hounders. Jim and Bob Entertainment, Educational Channel 15. Jim, this is for third place in the GBL tonight.
Third place, both teams coming in at 4-2. Both teams suffering a loss in the GBL to Malden, Bob, and as you pointed out, both of those losses by 10 points.
Right.
Very even matchup tonight.
In the GBL, Peabody right now is on top at 5-0. Malden, who defeated both Cambridge and Somerville at 4-1, and both teams, Cambridge and Somerville, 3-1 in the GBL tonight, Jim. A huge game. Whenever these two teams clash, it's always huge.
You mentioned Dark Side of the Force.
Yes.
Is that the new official nickname for Cambridge?
It is.
We called Cambridge hockey team the Dark Side of the Force.
The dark side of the force.
They do wear the black. They use that choke move. Bob, the big news tonight, of course, on a more personal note, not me as a person, but the team and their emotion and their status, is the return of the Machete Mackey.
Right.
She's not a starting five, but she will be in there very shortly. Coach Harris and I had a nice conversation, Bob. We talked about starting five and when he replaces players, and he said the starting five are the five hardest working best players he can put out there, and the only reason any of them come off would be for injury, fatigue, or foul trouble. He's not going to be pulling players off this year because it's your turn, it's your time, you haven't played in a while. You come off if you are fatigued, injured, or in foul trouble. Having said that, he thinks that within a couple of minutes, Machete will be in the game.
Interesting.
He also pointed out,
and I suspect that's because Cambridge is a very fast team, Jim. There's going to be a lot of running back and forth. Players are going to get tired easily in this game.
You're probably right. In the last game, Bob, I noticed that that the Mauler, the Mangler, all these M's, the Mangler.
Keep it together.
Put in a lot of minutes. I noticed she was out there. And you mentioned Cambridge is a fast team, and they're going to run some of the Highlanders up and down the court. A lot of endurance is going to come into play.
And when Mangler comes off for a breather, Jim, someone's going to have another point guard.
Well, that's the thing. In the last game, Mangler played 32 minutes. She never, even in fact, she played more than that because no, that wasn't the overtime game. 32 minutes.
Right.
Never came off the court. 32 minutes. Coach Harris said in his career, the player who did that the most, and it's not a common feat, was Jill the Demon Collegero.
Fair enough.
How about that? That's one for you, Jill, because you tried to hook me up with your sister, even though she has a boyfriend.
Right. So, I wanted to give a shout-out, Jim. The Hammer wanted me to give a shout-out to her friend.
Do it now. Go ahead.
Her friend's name is Jennifer Gerard. Jennifer Gerard's a JV player. Unfortunately, Jennifer broke her ankle in two places. So Jennifer's out right now, but Tashi the Hammer Hamilton wanted me to give her a shout-out. We're thinking about you. We're thinking about you, Jennifer. Get well soon.
Speaking of injuries, Bob, we'll talk when we come back from the starting five about Stephanie the Savage Sheehan and her injury. More on that to follow. Right now, Bob, you and I got to head cross court.
Right. Hopefully this time we won't mess it up.